Hello and welcome to a new video. I once again got a really cool video in my timeline on YouTube, which I absolutely want to watch. It is called World of Warcraft Saved Me When Life Fell Apart. In this series, I want to react to videos about philosophical aspects of World of Warcraft or gaming theory regarding World of Warcraft, all of the stuff, and this video looks really promising. I absolutely wanted to watch it, so I thought I will watch it with you together and comment it. The video is from the Luminous Links and we will dive into it.
World of Warcraft has always and will always hold a special place in my heart.
Yeah, I think this is something which we all can agree on. World of Warcraft is something that has a really special part in our hearts and in our lives, for me at least.
Being 36, I've played this game for more than half my life now, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah, I also played this game since 2004, so a really long time of my life I spent in World of Warcraft in different versions and iterations, and I still enjoy it.
When I was in my early 20s, I felt like everything was being taken away from me. I used to be one of those guys who was obsessed with getting bigger. I would finish work, sit my pre-workout and watch videos of Ziz or Greg play, and then head to the gym for the old bro split routine. The gym was not just something I did. At that time, it had become a big part of who I thought I was. It gave me routine, goals to chase. It gave me that feeling that I was moving forward. Each session, one more rep or the next way up. And that was addictive. Not just the training itself, but the idea of progression. You feel like you are building something, you are in control. Then one day, while I was doing shoulder press, my shoulder dislocated. And it was just not one of those things where it pops out, goes back in, and you carry on like nothing happened, because it tore my rotator cuff as well. To this day, it's never been the same. I still
It really hurts.
train, but I don't lift heavy weights like I did back then. And when it first happened, it took more from me than just the ability to lift properly.
I think that's something a lot of WoW players have in common. You wouldn't expect that at first, but there are some parallels between working out and playing MMOs, because you get clear goals which you chase. For example, in MMOs, you do your quests, you do the things you have to do to finish the quest, and you get your reward. And working out is kind of the same. You go to the gym, you do your reps, and after some time you see results, you grow, same as you do in MMOs. So a lot of people don't think there is a parallel, but a lot of WoW players actually working out a lot.
Took away the thing I'd built too much of my personality around. The gym had been my home from home. Even if the rest of life was boring or stressful, that was the one thing that felt like it was moving forward. Then suddenly, that was gone. After that, my brother moved away. My brother is not just my brother, he's my closest family member. At first he moved down south, which was hard enough, but then he moved across to America. Of course you can still message and ring, but it's not the same as knowing that person is nearby and that you can see them whenever you want. Then after that, the girl I was going out with broke up with me. And I will be honest, that one broke me. I did not realise I was as mentally weak as I was until that happened. I thought I was stronger than that.
Yeah, when things like this are happening, when your social structure is starting to break up, everything you knew before, your routines, going out with friends or with your girlfriend, and all of this all of a sudden is gone. Especially when your hobby, what you said here, which was working out, is also gone. Then you can quickly fall into a hole. This can start to isolate you, and when this happens, you can fall into a depression or something like this really quick. A lot of people underestimate how such routines and structures, how important they are for us humans.
I would handle things better, but when it actually happened, I fell apart. That period of time felt different to anything I'd gone through before. Every minute felt like an hour. Every hour felt like a day. The only time I felt any kind of peace was when I was asleep. Then I would wake up, and for a few seconds I would forget, then it would all come back. That horrible moment where your brain reminds you what has happened, and you realise you have to carry it all through another day.
Yeah, I can guess that he felt really alone here because his social structure was gone. I was in kind of the same situation. When I was studying, I moved away from my hometown to a complete other part of Germany, about 600 kilometers away, and I didn't really know people there. You know, when I was growing up, I moved a lot with my family and stuff like that, but I always found a social structure. I always had friends. I always had people I could rely on. Even when it wasn't on my family, it was friends which I always had. Because of the study and because I wanted to see something different, I was somewhere completely else and I was feeling so bad. I was so isolated, so alone for 4 years overall, and this was horrible. This was so bad this time, and it can do stuff to you. And that's something which he reminds me of here. So really interesting to see what else he will tell us.
People talk about heartache like it is just being sad because someone is gone, but it is more than that when you're in it. And because I felt that way for too long, the stress affected my body. And then I ended up with ulcerative colitis, which is an autoimmune inflammatory bowel disease.
Oh, that's something which comes from stress. Ooh, that's bad.
That becomes a part of your life. That doesn't go away either. It is something you have to manage forever.
It's psychosomatic. This is happening. Too much stress and it will affect your body, and this once again will affect your mind, and that's a really horrible fate.
It changes the way you think about going places. It affects your confidence. It makes you plan around things other people never even have to think about. Where's the next toilet? How long will I be out? What if I get stuck somewhere? Can I actually go there? Is it even worth the stress? So as you can imagine, it wasn't exactly a fun few years. The gym had been taken away from me, my brother moved away, a relationship ended, my health changed forever. And for a while, it felt like life was just happening to me. I had no control over any of it. But through all that, I did have one constant, one place I could always go to and escape: Azeroth. And I know to some people that will sound ridiculous.
No, it's absolutely not. I can understand him because his whole structure, his whole social structure is gone and his whole routines are gone. He lost his hobby because of the illness he got. So playing in an MMO will substitute some of those social structures, and it helps to give him something to feel happy about once again. A place where he can be happy and where he can still live his life, even if it's in a digital form. It's sort of escapism, and I wouldn't suggest to make this the main point in your life, but it can help out for some time to grow up once again self-confidence and to get something which makes you happy once again in life, because this will affect you and will help you to build up new routines in real life.
Because from the outside, World of Warcraft is just a game. But when you were going through a bad time, something as simple as logging into a world that feels familiar can mean more than people realise.
Yeah.
Azeroth gave me something I did not feel like I had in the real world: a sense of control. In real life, I felt like things were being taken away from me, one after another. In WoW, I could still make a choice. Some nights that choice was as simple as wandering through a zone. Other nights it might be actually leveling a character, running a dungeon, working on a profession, grinding SFK, or just travelling through the world with no rush. It did not have to be impressive. That was the point. It was small, but it was progress. And at the time, small progress was massive, because when your real life feels stuck, even the tiniest win can feel like something to hold on to.
You have to follow small goals. Your brain can't distinguish if you achieve a goal in real life or in video games. Our brains are not made for that, to understand that. That's where MMOs can really help to build confidence, because when you achieve small goals in an MMO, it can absolutely help you to build confidence once again in small steps, because your brain thinks, oh, I achieved something, oh, I got something done, and this will give you dopamine. This will help you out, and if you're in a depressed situation like he is, then that's something which is really helpful for you. This can help build more confidence, and that's great what he's telling here, in my opinion.
Quest handed in, a level gained, a new ability, a bit of gear, a zone finished. None of those things fix your life. Of course they don't. But they give you a little bit of movement at a time when everything else feels frozen. This is what WoW did for me. It gave me movement, it gave me direction, it gave me somewhere to put my mind when my own life felt too heavy to sit with. And I think that is why the game means so much to me. It was not just about escaping. People use escapism like it is always a bad thing, as if needing to step away from real life for a bit means.
Perfect point. That's exactly what I mean. Escapism is nothing bad if it's something you do in small doses. If it's something which gives you some great time to wind off a little bit of stress. If it helps you like it did here to build confidence once again, to give you a structure, then that's something good. The problem is happening when you do this for your whole day, for your whole week and your whole month, and you don't do something else anymore. But in small doses, it is really, really helpful. And it's something great which can help you to build out new skills in an MMO or game, which a lot of people also underestimate how much you can learn from games and how it can positively affect your mind and your psyche. Really, really great point.
You were doing something wrong. But sometimes escaping for a while is exactly what keeps you going. Sometimes you do not need someone to tell you to sort your life out. Sometimes you do not need some massive answer. You just need a few hours where your head is not eating itself alive. For me, Azeroth gave me that. The music would start, the character would load in. I'd be standing in a city or an inn or some old zone I had not visited in ages. And for a while, I was not thinking about everything I had lost. I was just there, in the world, moving forward. And that is something World of Warcraft has always done better than most games. It did not.
Yeah. It is something which made him feel happy for a while, and that's really, really great. It's the same what I had back in the day when I felt so isolated. I also started to play World of Warcraft again. It was on a private server back then. I think it was Elysium, to be honest. And I had this positive feeling once again. I had something which I can look forward to play and to have fun with. And that felt so good, and it really helped me to get through this time where I was alone and isolated. And that's the same he's showing us here and telling us here. That's really, really cool.
Just give you activities. It gave you a place, a world that feels like it exists whether you are there or not. The roads are there, the old towns are still there, the music still plays when you cross into a zone, the inns feel warm, the forests still feel quiet, the mountains sit in the distance, Stormwind is always Stormwind, Dunmarrow is still Dunmarrow. And when your own life feels unstable, there is something powerful about a world that still feels familiar. That is probably why I care so much about the world side of World of Warcraft. Because to me, those places are not just old content, they are memories. They are tied to real parts of my life. A zone is not just a zone when you remember playing through it during a time when you barely keeping yourself together. A piece of music is not just background music when it takes you back to a night where the game was the only thing making the day feel bearable. A character is not just a character when you leveled it through a period of your life where you felt you were trying to survive each day. And I think a lot of WoW players have something like that in their own lives. Maybe not the exact same story as me, maybe not the gym injury or the breakup or the illness, but their own version. The expansion they played when life was hard, the guild they joined when they felt lonely, the zone they always go back to reminds them of a simpler time, music that suddenly hits them in a way they cannot explain to someone else who was not there. That is why WoW is different. It has been around.
I think that's something a lot of people can relate to, a lot of WoW players can relate to. There are memories in the game which helped you to go through harder times. The game itself helped you to go through harder times, and there is the special piece of music, like you said, or this quest chain you do, or something like this, maybe a raid with your guild, a structure which the game gives you maybe. And all of this can help you to get through a hard time in your life and help you to be a better person today or just to survive something. And I think that's something MMOs, video games in general, can do to us. Really, really great point. By the way, I really love the B-roll he's doing here with video elements he's showing to visualize his speech. A lot of love went into this video, you can tell this for sure.
Long enough that people have not just played it, they have grown up with it. They have gone through life with it in the background. And when a game has been there through that much, it becomes more than a game, because real memories attach themselves to it. Real emotion gets tied to places you go through. And once that happens, you cannot just look at it like another game. This is maybe part of why I love leveling. It is where you slow down, where you get that feeling of starting again. It is where one quest leads to another, one zone blends into another, and slowly you feel like you are moving through a world rather than just playing a checklist.
Yeah, you get into a situation of flow where you just lose sense of time, but you feel good while doing it, and that feels so awesome and so great.
At that time in my life, all that mattered because I needed that sense of slow progress. The real world felt too painful and too out of control, but in WoW, the next step was usually clear. Not in some grand life-changing way, just clear enough. Go here, speak to them, help this village, explore that cave, travel to the next zone. When you're in a bad place, you are not always looking for happiness. Sometimes you are just looking for something that gets you through the next hour, the next evening, the next week, and slowly, without even noticing it, those hours stack up, those evenings stack up. You're still here, you're still moving. That is what WoW gave me, a way to keep moving when I did not really know how to do that in real life. And I want to be clear, I'm not saying World of Warcraft fixed everything. It didn't. I still had to deal with my shoulder injury. I had to accept that the gym would not be the same again. I had to deal with my brother moving away. I still had to go through the breakup, and I will always have to live with the colitis. The game did not magically remove any of that, but it helped carry me through it. It gave me a place that still felt familiar, a world that is still waiting for me when the real one felt like it was falling apart. That was Azeroth for me. I could log in and relax. I could feel some control, a place where progress still existed, even if it was only a small bar filling up at the bottom of the screen. And that might sound silly to some, but I think anyone who has had a game, a book, a film, a sport, anything that has helped them through a dark time will understand what I mean. Sometimes the thing that saves you does not look dramatic from the outside. It's not always a big moment. It can be something quiet, something familiar, something that gives you just enough comfort to get through the day. For me, that was World of Warcraft. That is why I still care about this game so much. Not because I think it is perfect, not because I agree with every decision Blizzard makes, but because underneath all the systems, all the arguments, all the patches and drama, there is still a world that was there for me when I needed it. And once a place has done that for you, even a digital place, it stays with you forever. Azeroth became part of my story, not just a story of my character, mine. It was there in a period where I felt like I had lost who I was. It was there when I needed it, somewhere to go. It was there when I needed something to aim at, even something small. And maybe that is why all these years later, I can still log in and feel something the moment the music starts. It is not just nostalgia, it is memory, it is comfort. It is a reminder that I got through a time when I did not know if I would feel normal again. So when I say World of Warcraft saved me, I don't mean it in some cheesy, over-the-top way. I do not mean a video game solved my life. I mean, it gave me somewhere to go when I needed somewhere to go. It gave me small wins when I felt like I was losing everything.
And I think, especially nowadays, where life is pretty hard, we have a lot of inflation around the world. We are living in really uncertain times with wars and other stuff, and a lot of people are affected by this. And sometimes this sort of escapism which he describes here, the little wins you get in game, can help you to get through these times, because times will get better, and it can help you to stay positive, to keep a positive mind, to feel good for a little bit. And that's what is really, really important, to not lose hope in those uncertain hard times. And I really love how he describes this here. Awesome video so far.
Gave me direction when I felt directionless, and for a while that was enough to keep me going. That is why Warcraft has always and will always hold a special place in my heart. If you enjoy videos like this about WoW, not just as a game, but as a world that has meant something to us over the years, then I'd love for you to join this community.
Yeah, insanely good video. Luminous Lux here. Go to his channel, subscribe to him. I really, really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed his perspective about World of Warcraft. I really enjoyed how he shared his personal story here. And I want to watch more from him. Insanely cool content. Go to his channel, subscribe to him. We leave a like for sure here. Really, really awesome. What do you think about this video? Has World of Warcraft a place in your heart as well? Did it save you when your life fell apart for once? Did it help you to get through hard times? Let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear from you. For now, thank you very much for watching. If you found this useful, consider to like, subscribe and hype this video for more World of Warcraft content in the future.